Joining us right now is the chairman of TVS Motor Company, Sudarshan Venu. Sudarshan, thank you so much for joining us. The India-EU FTA talks have been concluded. It will come into effect sometime in 2027. Give us a sense of how does this help global automobile majors like yours, and how does this reduce tariffs on automobiles, on two-wheelers being exported from India to Europe?
Really, it's a pleasure to be with you, Parikshit, on this wonderful occasion of the signing of the India-EU FTA. India, as you know, is the fastest growing large economy in the world, and it's such an exciting place to be in. With the Prime Minister's vision for Viksit Bharat and the efforts taken by the government, we now have access to a lot more countries, to UK, to Middle East, to Australia, to Switzerland, and now to the whole EU trading bloc, which is one of the largest trading blocs in the world, if not the largest. And I think this will only further enhance the strength of our exports and add to more jobs and more growth in the Indian economy. This will benefit many sectors, including ours. I think Europe is a large market mainly for bigger CC vehicles, and Indian companies have been producing bigger CC vehicles, what we do with BMW, Bajaj, of course, with KTM, Hero's working with Harley, and also you see now more exports of two-wheelers into the European market. And of course, with Norton starting production in the next months, really, or weeks, this will help all of us to leverage India as a manufacturing base for the European market as well.
How does the tariffs on two-wheelers being exported from India to Europe go down, and vice versa?
I think the bigger opportunities for Indian two-wheelers going into Europe and also for the broader auto component sector, as far as the reduction on the European tariff for the European two-wheelers coming into India, that clarity is a little awaited in terms of the reduction. In terms of Indian two-wheelers going into Europe, of course, like in the case of UK, it was 5%, which now goes to 0. So the bigger opportunity is for Indian two-wheelers going into Europe. I think in addition also, this is more beneficial broadly for the larger industry in terms of auto components, automobiles, and commercial vehicles. So far, the Indian two-wheeler market has been more focused on exports to Africa, Latin America, and now in addition to the larger displacement vehicles where India has already been exporting to Europe. So it is more a question of those duties coming down and also the significant 30+% duties of European vehicles into India coming down, which hopefully will expand the customer base for high-end two-wheelers.
Right. And of course, the CKD tariffs have also come down from 16% to about 8.25% on cars. This is what Maros Sefcovic had told us, Sudarshan. So the CKDs on two-wheelers are also on similar lines?
I think two-wheeler exact details are awaited, Parikshit, but really what we're looking at more is, I think, the expansion of the premium industry and the customer base, because these foreign European two-wheelers are coming into India. But you must also keep in mind that many European brands are also already producing a line of two-wheelers in India. So hopefully this will lead to more of their global production shifting to Indian base, and also for many of the companies in the supply chain becoming part of the global big motorcycle supply chain of the European companies.
Right. One question before I ask you about your results and we end this. How do you see India becoming, or Europe becoming, a big market for two-wheeler manufacturers in India once this FTA comes into effect?
I think this opens up a broad array of opportunities for various sectors. Two-wheelers is only one of them. So far, two-wheeler exports have been more in Asia, Latin America, Africa, and this opens up Europe further. We already partnered with BMW where the one-cylinder and in future the two cylinders will go into Europe. The Norton two-cylinder is being produced in India, which will also go into Europe. And this gives a further fillip to that opportunity and also for the auto components and entire sector as well.
Right. My final question on TVS results. The company has reported a 48.6% jump in consolidated net profit to 841 crore for the third quarter of the financial year. And the profit stood at 566 crore. How do you see the results, the major growth drivers, and how do you see the next few months?
Firstly, I think the Indian economy has done very well, supported by government measures of reducing GST and also reducing income tax on the middle class, which was done in the last budget. This has resulted in the two-wheeler industry having its fastest growth in the last 8 or 9 years. at over 20% in the last quarter. And I think this industry growth is giving a momentum to all of us. And of course, TVS products have been well received in the industry. So that helps us continue to grow. Secondly, I think some of the African markets are also doing well, and therefore we are seeing growth on the international markets. Lastly, I think India is such a great place to be in with economic growth and a young consumer base that our financial services business continues to grow as well on the lending.
All right. Thank you very much, Sudarshan Venu, for joining us on this big day that the India-EU FTA has been concluded. We will, of course, wait for the ratification to see how it helps the auto industry. But thanks once again.